Does your child get frustrated doing homework? Would you like to help your child learn at home or when you're out in the community? I can help. Hi, I'm Stuart Ackerman. I've been an educator for over 17 years and I've helped many children achieve academic success. Today, I'm going to share with you my personal strategies, techniques, and views so that you can help your child learn right here on Teacher Talk. Say the words Coca-Cola, Nike, or Google around any fifth grader and the brand's logo automatically pops up into his or her head. Kids are bombarded by advertising everywhere, but most of them are unaware of the companies behind the brand names, and their parents are unaware of the benefits of learning about those companies. According to a study conducted by Learning Point Associates, kids in grade 4 through 6 who were exposed to an online stock market game on average scored higher than 55% of their peer group in basic math testing. Whether or not you follow the market, you can help improve your child's math skills by reading charts, calculating shares, and analyzing companies. This will further your child's ability to interpret graphs and let your child apply math skills in a real-world situation. Your child will also learn more about his or her favorite brand. Maybe your child will even want to own a piece of it someday. Larry Berman is a portfolio manager and co-founder of ETF Capital Management and the Independent Investor Institute. Larry is also the primary author of the textbook for the technical analysis course offered by the Canadian Securities Institute, which is the primary source of education for technical analysis in Canada. Larry is also featured weekly on BNN's Berman's Call, where I must say he does a great job at educating young people and older people about finance and the market. Great, thanks for being on the show, Larry.
Oh, thanks very much.
So for some of us novices, what exactly is a stock and what is an ETF?
Well, stock's simply the ownership of a company. So when a company looking for financing to grow, often they'll issue shares so other people can participate, and they're listed on an exchange where they're traded freely. An ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, and it's a group of stocks put together that often represents an index that someone could trade, so it gives you, instant diversification, for example.
So, I was with my kids in Disney World, and they're having a great time, and they wanted to come back again. And, it was a costly trip, and I said, I'll do better than bring you back. I'll buy Disneyland for you. So their faces dropped when they came home and they realized what that actually meant. And I didn't think I did the best job at actually showing them how the market works and shares and prices and what have you. You have a great way you told me about when we met before. Could you show us how to do that with a younger student?
Sure. Well, my son right now, who's 23, works for me as a stock trader. Okay. But when he was 4 years old, I played a game with him all the time. And we took a bunch of his toys and I took them away. And so let's say these are his toys here. I took them away. I gave him a roll of pennies. So in today's game, maybe we'll give you a roll of loonies or toonies to play. So it's a bit more relevant for the young ones. And I would say, let's take Hulk here. Okay, this is your favorite toy, Stuart.
Yes.
You've got a roll of toonies, so that's $50. How much would you give me for this?
I don't know.
Because with that 50, you've got to buy all these toys.
I don't know. Okay, maybe 20.
20. So I want 30 for this one. Okay, this is your favorite. I want 30 for it.
Okay, it's my favorite, so I'll give you 30.
Okay, so you give me 30. So now I have your 30, and there's your toy. And so the next one here, let's go with Spidey. Spidey's your next favorite one. Mm-hmm. So how much would you give me for Spidey?
How much do you want for Spidey?
Well, that's a good question. Okay. So you paid me 30 for that. I think this guy's worth 30 also.
Oh, I don't have that.
You don't have that. So well, how much do you have?
I only have 20 left over.
20. I'll take 20.
But then I can't buy any more.
Ah, yes. So the stock markets is about finding the value of the company. It's what someone's willing to sell it for versus what someone's willing to pay for it. And so in learning from my son at that age, he cried many times because he ran out of money. And then he got the idea of when I said 20, he said 18, and so we got to the bid offer. And that's what the market's all about, figuring out what the fair value of a stock price is, what someone's willing to pay for it.
Okay, so that's a great lesson. Parents can do this at home, I'm sure, with toy cars or any other type of toy, and I like that one. So let's get into the idea of how the market works and some of the real basics so that most viewers who have kids, if they're involved or even if they're not involved, would have an idea how to help their kids. What is a gain, what is a loss, and how is that calculated?
Well, it's an interesting thing we're learning about people at any age, whether they're children or adults. And I think the older we get, the more anxiety we get. When people look at gains, you bought something at $10, the last price that was traded is 12, you're up 20%. So that's a great thing. People are happy about that. But if you bought something at 10 and it's currently trading at 8, and that's where you could potentially sell it to the next guy, that's a loss of $2 and mentally very, very different for people.
Okay, let's take a look at that graphic of a gain or a loss. And when you're with your child at home, if you're looking online and you're looking at gains and losses, really simple. You can look at the price bought.
Yep.
And the price sold, and if it's higher, obviously it's a gain, a change in price. So you can have your child work on that. If your child's adding decimals, learning decimal tenths or decimal hundredths, just simply adding, even play around with the calculator to check that. It's a great way to reinforce some of the math skills. And if it's negative, it would be a loss, and again, it would be positive. For grade 4, that would be really good for reading and represent money amounts to $100, depending on the share and the stock. For grade 5, that would help add and subtract decimal numbers to hundredths, including money. And grade 6, the kids can use estimation when solving problems. So, for example, you can talk to your child on how to, how much would it be roughly if it was rerounded to $35 or so. Okay, great. Let's move on to the total cost of investment. What exactly is the total cost of investment? How does someone figure that out?
Okay, so you've got your price per share. We've figured out in the market that that's the price we're going to exchange. Now, how many shares do you want to buy? So if you have your $50 and the last toy traded was at $1, you could buy 5 toys and that would cost you $5. So in the case of a number of shares, typically they would trade in a minimum of 100 lots of shares. So you could buy 500 shares, and if the last price is $22.40, your cost of investment would be $11,200.
Okay, can we take a look at the total cost of investment? And we'll see. So we have the number of shares. We have an example here, 500 shares at $22.40 price per share, and the total cost of investment. So for younger students, that would be really easy for them to just use multiplication. Grade 5s can use estimation. They can figure out roughly how much it would be. Grade 7, 8 students can solve problems using real-life context. This is all right from the curriculum. How would a student, maybe more advanced, grade 7, 8, now I know that there are commissions, and I know that sometimes there's a flat commission, sometimes there's a percentage. How would a parent help their child figure this total cost of investment, taking consideration that there is commission?
Right. So commission's an interesting thing because there's various sources. You can go to a discount broker and trade relatively inexpensively, but it comes to percentages. So for the older kids, it gets into a little bit more tricky math because it's about percentages. If you have a $10 commission at a discount broker and you've invested $1,000, well, that $10 as a percentage of 1,000 is 1%. Okay, but if you've made a $11,000 investment, it's still going to cost you $10 to make that discount trade, and therefore on a percentage basis cost you less to trade. So the more you're trading, percentages become more important, actually.
I really, this is, for me, this is all kind of new too, but I think it's doable at home. Let's skip the next one. Let's move over to price to earnings. All I hear when I'm listening to people on TV and online, I hear price to earnings, price to earnings. I know that's the huge indicator that people use. What exactly is price to earnings and the ratio, and how is it calculated?
Well, one of the things to figure out the value of the company, and it's not just me and you going back and forth trying to figure out what it trades at, but it's based on some kind of fundamental of the company. Basically, how much can the company earn in dollars, and how many shares outstanding are issued to share those earnings? So that's the earnings per share. So if a company is trading at $20 and it earns $1, the earnings per share is $1 per share. Now, what's the multiple? Well, it's trading at 20 times that dollar per share.
Okay. I want to also go over, because I know technical analysis is another area of specialty of yours. Can we see that slide on the trends? What exactly is a trend? Because I know that in grade 4, 5, and 6, kids have to learn about a trend when reading a graph. Can you tell us about this trend?
Well, sure. Here's an example. I think we're looking at this chart of Disney. And so a trend, a higher trend, prices rising, are a series of higher highs and higher lows. So we can see the arrow depicts the trend going up. So a year ago, had you bought the stock of Disney at around $65,
Which we did, yes.
Which we did.
Which we
and
did.
So today it's trading at 85. So now you can calculate the profit that you potentially have. You can factor in the cost of commissions if you were going to go sell it at this point. So everyone's relatively happy because the markets are up overall. Now, the market might be up 10 or 15% in the last year, and Disney in this case is up 20%. So here's where percentages come into it.
Correct.
Again, for some of the older students to calculate, because being in Disney, owning Disney, you actually did better than the broader market or
right,
an
yes,
ETF,
that's right.
for example, that represents the broader market.
Well, since they came out with that Star Wars movie, I knew something was going to happen with that one. So this is also great with the trend, grade 4, 5, and 6, reading, interpreting graphs, and drawing conclusions, saying, hey, I think I have a feeling where, I mean, that's what this technical analysis is. It's drawing conclusions. It's making those inferences based on the prior knowledge. Can we just quickly see the moving average slide? What exactly is moving average? How is that calculated? Because I know that's maybe for the higher grades.
Sure, but well, back in the day before computers, today with computers it's very easy to calculate averages, but roughly the 200-day average was the representation of the one-year price. Back 200 years ago when stock exchanges in North America first got going, there was about 200 trading days in the year. So it was the average price over 200 days, and it represented the one-year trend.
Great, and so we can do that. That's calculating, demonstrating, and understanding the mean. So that's great, all fits into the curriculum. So you're not just the co-founder and management person, you're also an educator. What is the educated trader?
Well, it's a website that we developed a couple of years ago, and it's been designed to teach courses, mostly for adults, but we've had some parents come with their teenage children, for example, to take courses, to learn everything from short-term trading to actually how to manage a proper portfolio with a long-term focus towards retirement.
And you start off with novices like myself.
Novices like yourself or experts, people who have been doing it that want more practice.
And there's an online component to that as well?
Yep, there's online courses, and we have a classroom here in the Toronto area in North York where you can come in and take real-time classes and learn how to trade and practice.
Well, from one educator to another, thank you very much. That was very enlightening, and I hope some parents can get some really good ideas. Whether or not you're involved in the market, you can really use this as a great tool to reinforce math at home. We'll be right back. Thank you. Financial literacy is the ability to use knowledge and skills to make effective and informed money management decisions. Personal financial literacy encompasses a range of money topics from everyday skills such as balancing a checkbook to long-term planning for retirement. By teaching your children about money, you help them discover the relationship between earning, spending, and saving. In doing this, children also begin to understand the value of money. This financial literacy can begin at a young age with simple money concepts such as counting coins and making change for purchases. Older children can learn about savings accounts, balancing a checkbook, and creating a personal budget. High school students learn financial literacy in accounting, business, and entrepreneurship classes. Interestingly, though, many parents of younger students aren't aware of financial literacy skills and concepts are actually found in their child's math curriculum. It's just a matter of finding it. Today, my guest, Stella Partipillo, will help us improve both financial literacy skills and math skills in very unique ways. Stella Partipillo is a regional vice president of RBC Royal Bank. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So I really like this idea of youth accounts. I had my kids going in and I wanted to open an account for them, and I said, hey, you know what, maybe I'll teach them some math. So it's kind of, an opportunity where they can come in and do that. So I know that RBC specializes in the youth accounts. What exactly is a regular savings account for youth?
So we offer to our clients, our young clients who are experiencing banking for the first time, our Leo RBC Young Savers account. It's a great first time account for our clients who are just experiencing banking for the very first time. They come into the branches, we open the account for them, we create a great experience for them, and they have access to very basic banking needs, similar to what they need at that age.
And what kind of experience do they have when they come in?
Very
popcorn and candy? What is
Pretty
it?
much, yeah. They come into the bank. It's a lot of fun when they come in. They often come in with their parents, which is great. They come in with their piggy banks full of money and their envelopes sometimes still in the birthday cards or Christmas cards that the money came in, and really excited about being there and being part of the experience.
Okay, well, I think it's a great idea. Parents, you can really help your child with math. Let's take a look at the first slide, a youth account. I'm going to show you some ways that you can help your child improve math skills with that youth account. And with that youth account, you can cover some of the math curriculum. So let's just take a look. So number one, reading and representing money amounts. So you can have your child, say you ask your child, how much money do you have here? Your child will read the amounts, and they'll say $5, I have quarters, nickels, and so on. You can also show your child how to add and subtract money amounts by making simulated purchases. So by doing so, they can pretend to buy things in the house and what have you. And that's a great opportunity for them to also provide change. And there's your adding, subtracting. If your child has trouble with that, and then give them a calculator, and that can help too. 3. Demonstrating understanding of simple multiplicative relationships involving unit rates. So, you can say to your child, okay, well, we want to save a certain amount of money. This book costs $5. How much would it cost for 2 books or 3 books or 4 books and so on? So that's a really great way to utilize that youth account. And I think that's a great tool. So Stella, going back to the RBC Leo Young Savers account, is it any different or similar to a regular big person account with regards to interest or online banking or whatever?
Yeah, no, it doesn't actually operate much differently. It really is customized just for the needs, though, of that client. So as our young people's clients' banking needs are more simple and basic, it really does just cater to what they need. So deposits, withdrawals, online banking is absolutely an option, as is ATM banking. We always recommend that up until probably around 14, the parents should probably be joint on the account just to watch and make sure that their kids are using the accounts responsibly. But everybody knows their kids better than we do, and so we would leave it to the parents to make that decision.
And I think a great tool to use with the youth accounts is the whole concept of budgeting.
Yes.
Can we take a look at that slide of budgeting? So how would you help a young person when they come into RBC Royal Bank with budgeting? What would you do?
So part of the experience of opening the account is to take them online and to show them some of the online tools that are available to them. And one of those tools is an online budget calculator. We take them through that calculator. We ask them great questions about what are they planning on doing with their money, how are they planning on saving money, how are they planning on spending money, and how can they achieve their goals.
And that fits in the curriculum. I just took a few expectations from the curriculum. Grade 3, representing and describing relationships between coins and bills up to $10. For example, there are 8 quarters in a toonie, 10 dimes in a loonie, and so on. Grade 5s can add and subtract decimal numbers, hundredths using money amounts. Grade 7, solving problems using unit rates. If you go shopping and notice a 25 kilogram of David's famous potatoes cost $12.95 and 10 kilograms of Jennifer's potatoes are $5.78, which is a better deal. So there's a lot of math skills involved that parents can use. And I suggest that at home, parents, take the time to get ready, and you can sit with your child, have that money laid out, have some different products that you might want to consider buying, or set aside a certain budget. Okay, every few weeks we're going to save this amount, every month we're going to save that, and then utilize that youth account. It's a great way to teach your child financial literacy while at the same time getting those curriculum expectations in math, and I think that your child will pick up on that very quickly because it's a real life experience and it's a real practical experience. One more thing, you had a great program, It All Adds Up. Can you quickly tell us about that?
Yeah, the program is a financial literacy program that we designed in partnership with Free the Children. And it really does provide educators in our community great ways to teach their children about budgeting and about the 4 basic concepts of financial literacy, which are saving money, earning money, spending money, and giving money.
And that is free online?
It is free online to all of our educators.
Great, and you brought in this little booklet, It All Adds Up. I went through it when we met, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's some great lessons. As a teacher, I have to say that the lessons are fantastic. They're clear, they're organized. I even like at the back there's a glossary with all the terms. So there's part of your language curriculum that you could do at home with your child using the glossary, so you can get that whole language of finance. Work on the spelling, work on all that. So great tools. There's so many great ways to help your child at home with these youth accounts. And I think that, I've done it with my kids, and I highly recommend it to parents. I think it's fantastic. Thank you for joining us. That was great. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
That was really good. So I want to thank my friends at Mastermind Toys for providing me with Mr. A's top picks today. I got some great stuff to help your child with financial literacy and math. First, I'll start off with some flashcards, and we have addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. Love flashcards. Flashcards are a great tool because they're simple, they're easy, you can use them anytime. You can even play a little hide and seek with your kids. Sometimes, when the flashcard has, 2 plus 3 equals 5, and you can spread them around your house and ask your child to find what 2 plus 3 equals, and they'll find it, and just another variation of playing the game. But flashcards are great, and your child also will be able to memorize it. Another great tool for learning, well, this is time and money, but nonetheless there's still money in there. Flashcards for money specifically. And these flashcards are great because your child will learn, younger ones, to identify different denominations. Now, there's nothing better than having real money, but it's still a fun way in a different way. And again, you can play hide and seek with it, maybe buy 2 decks and play the game concentration, where the kids match up all the different coins and bills. So that's a great tool. It's how you use these things, not just sitting there with your child and just flipping them over. One of my personal favorites, Monopoly. Any Monopoly game will do. This one I like to play with my kids, Monopoly Empire. And this also helps, going back to our discussion with Larry about investments, this actually has the companies in there. So, you can do a great little lesson with your child by playing the game. For example, I have McDonald's there. Go look at the McDonald's stock. Take a look and discuss some of those skills that we discussed earlier about price to earning ratio and gain and loss and what have you. I also like this for the older kids. If you want to be a little mean, you can charge interest on their houses and get into that as well. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot of math concepts to get involved with. I came across this one recently, this money saving pig, and I'm even thinking about buying one for myself because it's actually great. It's got 4 compartments where your child can put money in, and one compartment is saving, another one is spending, another one is donating, and the 4th one is investing. Now, who wouldn't benefit from that? I know I would. But I think it's fantastic because it gives puts your child in a position where they have to put the money in, or you make them put the money in, and it teaches them to budget. And it's a great way for, I don't know, if any age. I think younger kids, older kids, maybe some adults too, but it's a great tool, money saving pig. Finally, I have the teaching cash register, and quite often these are found in schools. A lot of teachers have these as well. One of the best things to play that imagination play and learn those skills of finance. What I like about this cash register is that it has, when you press the coins in, you can hear the total and you can hear the change. So it has a lot of features. It actually says the money, says the amount. So your child will be able to identify, look at the money amount, and actually say it. Great, you can pretend to go shopping. You have other toys in the house, or like what Larry was showing earlier in the show with the superheroes, you can do that as well, and be very creative with that, and have different denominations. So a fantastic tool to use, and if you want to incorporate the money that's given in this, or use the real money, I don't know if the real money goes into it, but at least having that hands-on with the real money is great too. But it's a great tool, and kids can have so much fun buying things, and I really like that. So definitely something to consider if your child is having difficulty with some math concepts in school, or even if you just want to teach your child some of the money skills and the financial skills. But definitely great choices. And if you put all these together, you have a great resource here for helping your child improve and helping your child gain those fundamental math concepts. And everything here is also taught in school, whether it's addition, division, multiplication, adding money amounts, subtracting, and if you even get to it, you can write with your child, write down the actual money amount, even though it may say it on the screen. So it takes a little bit of effort, but nonetheless, the rewards will pay off and your child will have fun. So love these resources, and I highly recommend them. And I would really like to thank my guests, Stella Partipillo and Larry Berman, for their help today. If you have any questions or comments, please visit our website at www.rogerstv.com/teachertime. I'm Stuart Ackerman. Remember, you are your child's teacher at home. Thanks for watching Teacher Time. Join me, Stuart Ackerman, this week on Teacher Time to learn how to help your child improve math and financial literacy skills with my guests, Larry Berman and Stella Partapillo.